This video is brought to you by CENDANA, Malaysia's umbrella body for the cultural and creative economy, connecting creators, regulating bodies, private businesses, policymakers, and consumers, nurturing these entities individually while keeping a collective goal. For more information, do check out the links in the description below. Still, until this day, when people ask me what I want to do, it's like, okay, you want it conceptually or you want it concretely? If you want it conceptually, I would say, I want to have a certain level of power by a certain stage of my life. And everyone is just like spooked out about that sentence. Like, what? How can you say that? And then I started realizing that this word, this idea of power, power is ubiquitous, right? It's sort of dynamically wrapped and warped within the networks of all our personal, and social relations. And yet, after so many years of power being asserted in different frameworks and different structures, different contexts, especially the dance ones, we kind of have arrived at a point where power is inevitably a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Right? There is no other way to interpret this except for it being sort of a virus, right? Not the corona one, but another one, an intellectual virus.
Yeah.
So it's
power,
crazy.
Power imposed on you.
Yeah, not power.
And that's the thing.
Not like you said, not agency of power, but power imposed on us. How do we reframe that? How do we reframe our perception of power being one that is only placed upon you? And even if you are actively using it, how not to sort of be contaminated by the fact that everyone who has power is bound to become evil at some point.
I think it's the way you exploit that power.
Exploitation is another word that often gets like, oh, don't ever say that, right?
So exploitation and exploiting are two different things. So if you exploit someone, then that is exploitation. If you exploit a factor like power, you can exploit it in good or bad ways. Exploiting it in bad ways is using it to impose on people, bring people down. We've talked about collaboration briefly. If you are in a position of power, I'll step back also. We talked about heterarchical structures, in other words, level structures, whereby what happens in management, actually, organizational structures, is that a good boss or manager will allow the people he works with or she works with, they work with, I should say, it's much easier to say that, to come up and use their particular skills and to take control, if you like, of a part of a project. And then another person over here exploits their particular skills. So this manager, if you like, this boss is looking and seeing what the skills are within this group of people, and then allowing people that agency, which they know they're going to do something well. So they can actually do that kind of thing. So it becomes a collaboration. What you've got is the person with the overarching vision, and he or she wants to make sure that this vision is realized. And that's how they do it. They exploit this power by giving other people power at smaller levels. But so that's one way of doing it. It's collaboration. It's, allowing people their place. And it's been said for years in management, in organizational structures, that the more agency you give your people that you work with, the more productive it is. Because they want to do it. They don't feel they've got to do it. They want to do it because they feel that they're giving something positive. So it's consultation with the people you're working with as well. There's a term used, this is stuff I picked up from various places, usually academia, but actually I was working with somebody who was doing a degree in corporate governance. And I learned quite a lot about the way management operates through that. But they use the term stakeholders. And so if you're operating power from above, just like that, you're imposing power, you're not actually considering all the people who are stakeholders in this event, this work, this company, this everything else. So it's actually, first of all, deciding who those stakeholders are. And in dance, your theatre managers are, the audiences are, the dancers are, the choreographers are, the finances. You've got all these multiple factors, and anybody involved in those is a stakeholder. So making decisions after discussion, not telling people what's going to happen, but with discussion with the stakeholders, is a way of spreading power again. But ultimately, you've still got the power.